troublemakers and not terrorists? Is that what just happened? What was that interview with Bayo Onanuga and the BBC? Waiting exactly talk for that interview. That's not even the case. The ADC don't talk, say, if they like Omer and get 50 factions, so they are contesting this 2027 election. So nothing go make with them, the ADC, no go contest the 2027 election. They go dey on the ballot, they go contest the election, whether Tinubu and the people like am or not. And this one don't dey very serious because people don't talk, say, this one they like say the matter don't gather James, it don't tight well. But waiting be the option we be say they get. Even though say they don't admit say then get another option if the ADC fail. What's in that option would be? And at what point so if we say they go release that option, considering the very tight political calendar we will get, and they don't release for them. Well, all of this matter and more, like we say we get, because third faction does also come out now for inside the ADC. If you like say, well, I need to finish like this for ADC. Let I go take small break and they come back to bring on all of this and more matter. And then I go show on about my Ubunke guest for inside the studio and they come back. Stay with us. Welcome to Updated Precious. Another beautiful day to bring on an update of all the things that we're sharing for inside our country, Nigeria. You know, say you know go be updates if I don't give an update of to read them with the share inside the country. I make it be updates and I make a be an update screen. So I here to bring on an update. So make I just rush small headlines and we be say no touch before. Make I just rush them small and then we'll go straight to the conversation. Now ADC don't talk say then they politically target Euro 5 opposition figures for inside Kaduna. ADC alleges political targeting of Euro 5 opposition figures in Kaduna State. But then, let's go to other issues. We are facing security intelligence failure in curbing terrorist killings. Tinubu spokesman Bayo Onanuga tell BBC say they face security intelligence failure. In fact, he said they are troublemakers, not terrorists. Bayo Onanuga tells BBC. Troublemakers, not terror. I'm coming. We'll look at it. Then heaven won't fall when Tinubu loses 2027 elections. Sadiq Maunde fires back at Lagos APC. You know when they talk, so Tinubu, if anything happen, Lagos, say, see, heaven no go fall if Tinubu lose election. No can only they make it look like say person no go fail election. If he fail, others don't fail before. So what is the big deal if he fails? But that's it. But let's get on to other issues. Insecurity worsens as terrorists kill 5, abduct several, and burn homes in fresh attack on Niger community. I've been to play a video earlier when people be the wrong kitty kata for inside Bagulugu government area for Niger State. I've been here for Niger State. Where you see the run up and down. But there, now just this afternoon, and this attack happened for afternoon Gongo, then kill 5, abduct several, and burn homes for inside fresh attack, according to what ABC coming from. Now, Delta police officer opens fire on barber shop worker over missing airport. The airport lost, he opened fire. Then tear gas customers and smashes TV in Asaba Rampage. Wait, your airport lost, then you open fire. Hey, God, the bullet will not get to use fight terrorists. Now they waste. Hey, government of lies. Fisa Yoshoyimbo blast Bola Tinubu Nigerian. And Bola Tinubu Nigerian army for celebrating rescue of abductees on media while they still remain in terrorist captivity. Say on a true live government, and they celebrate the release of abductees, people will be say kidnappers abduct, but for not only for media and they celebrate them. Meanwhile, for real life, these people still deal with their abductors. Why on they lie? Why lie? Why? Now, P2B rose through business, not through government patronage. That is the kind of leadership Nigeria needs for real progress. Part to me, now in the market P2B. He said P2B rise through business, won't be through government, why you so now the kind of person we will be want like this. Okay, matter there's still plenty we be so go look into, but make I just quickly check other issues very quickly. So moving on to other issues. Nigerian police arrest activist Imam over criticism of Taraba relief distribution after petition by Sema Boss Audu. So police arrest them. Why do you criticize relief materials? Nah, in Nigeria, I explain it to you, understand it. Meanwhile, we can tell you that say newly built multi-billion naira Kubo bus stop terminal in Nigeria's capital damaged by rainstorm. If this terminal wey be say we can spend plenty money build like this, plenty money na im spend build am, na im be say we don lose. Like I told you this earlier before. Plateau government relaxes curfew in just north after Delhi attacks. Abducted American journalist appears in Iraqi Hezbollah video admitting to spying on Shia groups. Maybe that will be her end. God forbid. I hope so. Sorry, I hope not so. I beg your pardon. I hope not so. Please. Nobody should die while doing their job. Okay, so maybe we see other things we get here. Kemi PDP chief 10, Abubakar Gada, Shehu Duns party for ADC. Now, all these don't be now they cause problem for ADC like this. So. Okay, Cameroon confirmed 16 nationals killed fighting for Russian Ukraine war. Justice Nyanko orders de-radicalization for convicted Boko Haram supporters after jail terms. Did you hear that? Justice Yanko, she did order the de-radicalization of convicted Boko Haram supporters after jail terms. Okay, University of Elisha graduate arrested after protesting on just NYC mobilization delay in Osun State. How dare you protest? That's a problem we have in Nigeria. You cannot protest. Rice spaghetti can't save you. Atiku says Tinubu stomach infrastructure ahead of 2027 will end the shame. All this one, will save you. Nigeria arrests 227 terrorist suspects in Abuja as phase 9 of mass trial begins. Well, look, we'll see again. Yeah, bandits overrun Shiroro communities in Niger State. Residents flee homes, abandoned belongings. And so they just they run up and down this afternoon. Very, very, very disheartening. Rights group unions, pickets, printing firm owned by Pastor Oye Kilome, Christ Embassy Church, over unlawful dismissal of 75 employees. Okay, why you go sack people for this hardship? That's what they're saying. Meanwhile, NDC don't they woo people they maybe they come to their party, they need them. Or IPOB others members, well, let's just forget about this issue of IPOB. And then Kwanko also says scheduled meeting with Nafi Bala collapsed. Once ADC chieftain not to jeopardize Nation on repeated 3.3 trillion naira. Who they chop the money? Who they chop up? Okay, well, we could just stop on here very quickly so that we'll bring in my guest into the studio. Well, all of these and more matters that ABC we get to bring Fernando Mott this evening. And joining us for inside the studio, now Dr. Maduka. Dr. Maduka, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, precious. My
Welcome, sir.
pleasure once again. Yeah,
Well,
I hope
is this
you like my cap.
now you're no nonsense cap. You almost resemble Wike, your friend. Oh no, yeah, Wike, and I get some kind of
Ah,
eh.
yeah, we are on opposite sides.
So wait to make. I mean, what else if you support her? Wait to make you go build bus stop where those scatter na. But good evening, first of all. How are you doing?
I'm cool. I'm cool. Are you? And
I'm
good
good.
evening to your audience.
Thank you, sir. We could be better. We could be
Uh,
better. It is very
uh,
heartbreaking
yeah,
sometimes to be in Nigeria. And make I really
yeah.
pick your mind. How you did. Make I take your mind on the present day Nigeria. How you take see Nigeria of today for everything we going for Nigeria. How you take the do you for
Well, for me, Nigeria is relapsing. When you're treating somebody and you've given all the meditations and the person is not recovering, instead is relapsing. So we are an ICUP, SCU, and only God will make us to survive. Because as at now, everybody's at the age, there's no better at all, especially for some people. We that are staying in rural areas, it's not been easy because every time you see one request or the other, and some of them are very genuine, and you can't see your child, dying, uh, and you won't do anything, or even your neighbor, you won't do anything. Hunger is everywhere, and that is why probably the rice and spaghetti has become the end thing for this government. Things are rough, generally, and anybody who is living today is living on the mercy of God. And of course, you live on every day because you can talk about today, you don't know what tomorrow has. So it's not been easy for Nigerians. And it's well, I think we need us to see how we can help ourselves. I want to plead for those who can afford 3 square meal to reduce theirs to two and ensure that they give to others. Let our humanity start right now. If whatever you can do for anybody. It's not been easy. Seriously.
This is sad, very, very sad. And I hope so all of us will hit
Yeah.
that call to reach out to one another, especially at this very critical time we get. But looking at how difficult things are, a lot of people will complain, and the insecurity still persists. I mean, I talked about an attack earlier today for inside Shiruru local government as people begin run up and down. As Shiruru for Niger State, yeah, as people just broad daylight, they begin run up and down, sick of say they say attackers and the kidnappers them they operate, terrorists operate from nearby. And it was a helter skelter run, for everybody. And people come they want to say, should this be happening in a democracy? And also during the day, not before night though, during the day, let me say they happen. People they run up and down. So it be like say the attackers they know no night, they don't know morning again. So any time of the day they can actually attack. Here is a footage of it. Make I quickly show you.
Situation going on at the planning herdsmen. Key one of Kiru at the Payong. This is one of planning.
And this very quickly, residents of Bagna for and surrounding communities along the Shiruru axis of the Niger State have fled their homes, abandoning their belongings, and as armed bandits continued to advance through the area, families are relocating for safer locations or to safer locations amid the escalating attacks. And this particular attack we hear say happened during the day because recently they kidnap people, they kill a lot of people from inside the place. So make I take your thought on this persistent killings, especially after our president go visit people the way we say lose their lives for inside Plateau State. Even though say criticisms don't follow that visit we visit, say it's not for airport, they will reach a house. But we will talk about that one because why another guy gets interview we'll talk about. But make I just take your thoughts on the president's effort so far for this insecurity. We never even be like say the bat an eyelid at all still they continue.
Uh, um, Precious is a pathetic story. Nigeria is pathetic. When you've not seen war, you don't understand. I remember during the Nigerian Civil War, I was a kid, and I know how we ran out of our homes. Sometimes you don't see your mom. Sometimes you don't see your dad or your brother and sister. Everybody's running on his own just for safety. When you see what you just showed on television, it's like a movie to some people. There's agony to Nigerians, citizens of this country that ought to be protected. And unfortunately, this has become like a norm. We're no more seeing humanity. We're no more seeing people suffering. We're seeing what part, what happened, what's the number. So the empathy in us is gradually losing, and our sensitivity is getting out of what I would call empathy, and it's sad. And I have to tell you that what you just showed, we saw one last week from Nasarawa State, where children, women were running, and
As of today, there's another one on Katsina State where people like that, women and
Yeah,
children,
yeah. No.
over here.
So, yeah, and we have government, and the same government is coming to tell you that you should allow them to continue. And you ask yourself, beyond whatever you want to develop, if you develop, you build house, you build homes, you build whatever, are there no human beings that are going to enjoy whatever development you want to achieve for people? Don't forget that the primary function or objective of any government, reasonable government, let me put that way, any reasonable government is to protect lives and properties of its citizens. Then we see where Nigerians are being chased, like people who are like slaves in their own country. We see where in some part of Borno, in some part, in fact, in some part of Kwara right now, there's no inhabitants. People have run away from their homes, and still the government, they don't even see such as a very serious indictment in their governance system. And you see, my problem with this government is that it's like what we see in a vampire film. A vampire, when he sucks your blood, he smiles, he's happy, he feels okay, he rejoices. So I'm seeing this government as people who rejoices in seeing the blood of Nigerians being spilled, seeing Nigerians in agony, seeing Nigerians being displaced. And I am just saying, when this is coming close, especially for those who are in Abuja, who think they are okay, I'm telling you, it's getting there. Nasarawa, Niger State, and they're in closing. They already started kidnapping in Abuja. They all started doing some nefarious activities in Abuja. And still, the government seems as if nothing is happening. And you will know that some foreign countries, they've warned their citizens who are staying in Abuja to be careful because of terrorism. And what is playing now is that, like, we have a government who believe in rice sharing and who thought that Nigerians are more inclined to accepting rice instead of being protected. And it's unfortunate because I'm telling you that we are really, really in danger. You see, it's not only in Niger or North, it's spilling over to Southeast. I did a small research. Some part of Enugu State, when you talk about the boundary between Benue and Nsukka, it's almost taken over by bandits. If you come down to some part in Imo State, it's almost taken over by the. So every part of the land is surrounded. And the system that these guys are using, if we're not careful, in the next 3 years, you will not have a country. You have a people who are disjointed. Because gradually, what started in Borno, look at in Borno in 2003, 2003, yes. Look at how it's spilling over and coming gradually, gradually, gradually. Ondo now is affected. Kwara is affected. Benue is affected. Kogi is affected.
As we speak right now, there are communities that are deserted in Benue State, sorry, in Kwara State. I'm not even talking about Benue and Plateau
So,
State.
so, so that is the agony. And we have a country, or leadership that don't care about its citizens. Even those people who are in IDP camps are suffering. And here we are, that a government or a military officer will say that, oh, these are prodigal sons or prodigal daughters who we should receive and we embrace them. And meanwhile, we are not talking about the casualties, we're not talking about the victims, we're not talking about the mother who had lost the child, and you're talking somebody who took knife and took gun to fight the state, and you're calling them prodigal sons.
All right, sir. So I would like to know, is it that we're really fighting terrorism and the government is aware, or is it that they're not aware? Because Bayo Nana gave an interview with BBC today, and Bayo called the attacks where they happen, say, na troublemakers. He couldn't call them terrorists. He said they're troublemakers, and they're dangerous. If it be say truly that terrorism would they face, and the government sees it differently. Listen to this.
Question why the president couldn't take 30 minutes, go to this community and actually visit the people. You had to truck those who were affected to the airport
the president arrived late.
To meet the president.
Let me explain to you. The president arrived late. He knew what was going to because I said he had a prior meeting in Abuja with the president of Chad. So that delayed his movement to Jos. He arrived late, but ahead of him, he had sent the chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Waidi, to the state. He had sent the defense minister. He had sent some of the IGP, Inspector General of Police, to the state. They were all in Jos ahead of him. And they had all of them had gone to Rukuba to really find out what was happening and what happened there, and then to try to calm the place down. So all of them waited for him at the airport. When he arrived, he faced a particular problem. From the airport of Jos to the town will have taken about 40 minutes. And because that it would take him 40 minutes, he also knew that you cannot fly out of the airport after 6 p.m. So time was really against him. So he had to make everything quick to leave the city.
There are those who feel that it was a photo op moment. And not, it was a photo op moment. Those are the concerns, advisor.
It's far from that. He achieved his aim. Representatives of the victims, they all came to the meeting. The leaders, the local leaders in Plateau, they all came to the meeting. If you watch it on television, you see what the president did. He allowed all these people to speak.
Now that a few days have passed since this incident happened, are you able to tell us definitively how did these killings happen under the watch of the government?
Well, as a government, you cannot predict at times when these gun-wielding elements in our country, where they will strike and things like that.
Isn't that why you have an elaborate intelligence unit to help you do that? No. Well, sometimes, or most of the time, our intelligence officials are able to nip in the bud a violent conflict like this. But I think this one escaped their radar. Nobody expected it. It just happened. But Jos, right from decades ago, 3-4 decades ago, has always been a center of this kind of conflict. It's a communal conflict between Muslims and Christians, and that's what happened. So it's been several days again since this incident occurred. How many arrests so far have been made?
I cannot speak on that because I don't have that information yet, but I know the security people...
Advisor, who would have that information? Your advisor to the president...
They must have made some...
So can you say that no arrests have been made so far?
I say I don't have that specific information now, but what I know is that the security people are storming the place. The president even gave them a direct order to go there and arrest the troublemakers.
The president made a promise in that brief meeting at the airport with residents that this will never happen again. How can he make that promise? On what grounds was he making that promise? With
what has happened there, government knows that it has to put many boots on the ground. He has to increase the intelligence in that zone to ensure that we don't have such conflict anymore.
So why should the people believe him? Because previous promises have been made and the attacks still happen.
Well, this is a promise. He has not made such promise before. He's making it to the people of Jos. The government will do everything possible to ensure that we don't have a repeat of what happened on Sunday.
People died. And the people accused armed Fulani men as being the people responsible. 3 human beings died in an attack. And after that 3 human beings died, they talk say the people them we didn't kill, talk say the ones who escaped, talk say that the previous week Nigerian army had made them pay for a cow, the Fulani cow that died. But now that these Fulani people have killed their people, who will pay for the lives? The video is there. Please don't let me play it. Time no day. It's very painful that Bayo Onanuga could call this a communal clash. People were going their own way. They were hanging around on their Palm Sunday by themselves. Young men come in vehicle, open fire on them, and you say it's a communal clash? So the question is, say, if this is the mindset where, because Bayo Onanuga speaks on behalf of Tinubu, so we assume that this is Tinubu talking. So if this is the mindset that Tinubu has, how possible is it for us to fight insecurity?
Yeah.
If everything went by your talk now waiting Tinubu they think, then waiting be our way forward. Because you know why they talk this one? People say everybody carry arm, protect yourself. A man that has been kidnapped twice, a day man who been kidnapped 2 times, the man go buy AK-47 to protect himself. Guess what? Police arrest and collect the AK-47. Say nobody has the right to possess arm. So in that case, what do we do? If we don't have right to protect ourselves and the government no get right to protect us, in fact, they act like say they don't even understand what's going to happen. So what do we do? Okay, Maduka, where we be? What is going on?
Seriously, precious. Let me just tell you the truth. I think if we can be frank to ourselves, if Nigerians could be very, very frank to themselves, we will go back to what Abacha said. For every insurgent that lasts more than 48 hours or 24 hours, and the government is complicit. It's unfortunate, really, that people that used to be a vanguard, that talked about injustice, that talked about how governance should be, has become what I will call a caricature to myself. This is my opinion. You know, defending this government is like telling Nigerians that the light is going to be 24 hours next tomorrow. It's very unfortunate that this government has never been serious in fighting these terrorists. How on earth will somebody in presidency call a killer troublemaker? How on earth? People that kill people, displace them from their communities, from their ancestral homes, and you're telling it, I say, it's a communal classes. What is communal about it? That place has been erased. People are no more there. If it's communal classes, people will be there fighting. When you talk about intelligence, I'm worried because from the report, the people said that there was intelligence report of the attack, and which was passed to the military, and they responded that killing. What are you talking about? How can you say a whole intelligence unit of a military cannot be proactive? Proactive is intelligence. How will you talk about that today when technology is easy with Google Map? That's what we call Google Map. I can use it to track any part of this world. When these insurgents or terrorists are moving, they are being shown live going to attack whatever target. And you tell me that our intelligence.
There was even prior warning. There was even prior warning that these attacks will happen.
That's what I'm saying. I've said it. There's intelligence report. There's intelligence report that there's going to be an attack. And nothing happened. So he's telling us intelligence. So who are they fooling? Even Let me even come back to the reality that's on ground. Shegumi publicly said that the government is aware of the phone numbers and names of all the terrorists. Have they disputed that? They've not. So what are they talking? You see, I don't want to say something because we're online. I would have said that this government will be seen to be company. You can't tell me that with technology today, you can track any part of this country. Are you telling me that when they track, they cannot be able to dictate? One American was held hostage in Nigeria. America flew all the way from America. They tracked the position, exact position. They landed, killed, rescued an American, and flew back. And you're telling me that the Nigerian intelligence don't have such equipment. Rather, what the president told us that instead of telling the military to fortify and ensure that Nigerians are safe, he said he's going to put cameras. So when has cameras become the war equipment that military should have? Is it that the camera is going to fight the terrorists when they come? Don't forget that most of the terrorists, when they come, they cover their faces. So how do you track them? You see, this is we are talking. It's so funny. It's like when you are defending a classical case of failure in security. This is a classical case. Just on Sunday, Kaduna State, we saw what happened. People were kidnapped from the church.
And Katsina State,
Yeah.
people were kidnapped from their churches.
And Katsina and Kaduna, yeah. They were kidnapped from the churches. And unfortunately, our military came out like normal. We've rescued them. And the people said nobody has been rescued. So why are you lying? So when somebody said that this government is a lying, is deceitful government, this is the angle they are looking at it. This is the context. They cannot tell you anything and you say this is the truth. Yeah, go ahead.
Another quick one to that is, I don't know if you know about the young missionary, American missionary Alex Barbara, where they got the vex for recently. Now, Buhari's former aide come and talk say then deport and come out for Nigeria. Still, the Nigerian government tell them to come out. A government official, one of the president's aide, yesterday also said the same thing. The young man has now done an extensive video explaining how he left. In fact, said that the DSS want to say pursue me and they protect me. So who do we now? Or is it that the Nigerian government is trying to make us, or those officials that make us look like say na them pursue them, so that people way in the talk against no go vex? What is really going on? Let me show you.
Eroding, an aide to President Tinubu, declared on TVC News that I was deported, that my visa was revoked. She cited no evidence, there was no documentation, there was no alert to the embassy. Nothing was said and nothing was done. This is the first time that I'm hearing this. And the reality is that it was DSS that was literally protecting my life from evil people in Nigeria. They were ordered by the government to ensure that nothing would happen to me. Because I speak truth in power, because I actually go to the communities and I help the people that are oppressed, the ones that are suffering, because I'm doing the job that the government is not doing. They want to silence my voice. And I tell you, nothing will silence me. It is my duty to speak truth. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you come against me, no matter what lie you say, you will never silence me. As Muslims are calling for my arrest for speaking out on what the truth is of what's happening in Nigeria, Gumi, the known terrorist, walks free. No Muslims are calling for the arrest of terrorists in Nigeria, but the one who comes to speak truth, they want to be arrested. They want to be deported. Even if you are to deport me at any point, the voice will never be silenced. Truth will prevail. I stand for goodness, I stand for righteousness, I stand for justice. And those are the things that any government, any country should rest upon. Even 2 hours before my flight, I was at News Central in Abuja doing a live interview. Where was the deportation? Did they deport me to the news office? I purchased a round-trip flight a month before I came to Nigeria, and I have evidence of that. I've even posted it on X for people to see. My flight was from March 10th to April 1st, and I have countless texts between my partners and other people on WhatsApp that I'm also posting here in this video for you to see that my flight and my trip was pre-planned in advance from March 10th through April 1st. No government told me to leave, no official told me to leave, and you certainly did not tell me to leave. I've never heard of you. I don't know who you are. My friends don't know you. Other people in power don't know you. Yet you're on the news. You're spewing lies. And it's evil. It's wicked. And at the end of the day, this shows the integrity of Nigerian officials. If officials will go to the public and they will directly lie with no shame, boldly declare lies to the people, both domestic and international, what does that say about the people who are in power? You don't declare for Gumi to be expelled. Even though Saudi Arabia, the capital of Islam in the world, declared that Gumi would not enter, that he was deported, yet you allow him to be free in your country, but you call for me to be arrested. Nigerians are waking up. You may have been able to lie in the past and win, but that time is no more. Lies and evil will not prevail in Nigeria. Not for Christians, not for Muslims, not for any person who is oppressed. Not for any person who is killed. Not for any person who is dealt injustice by the hands of the government. My heart is that Nigeria would be free from oppression. That people would be able to live in peace. I don't care what you believe. Nobody should be under threat of death every single night. That their village would be burned. That their children would be cut to pieces. I don't care if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhist, if you're Christian, if you reject any God at all. I don't care. You should be able to live in peace. And I stand for this, especially because as a Christian, we are called to stand for the oppressed. We are called to be the voice of the voiceless. And if doing these such things is a crime, I'm guilty as charged. Even if you succeed that I would never step foot into Nigeria again, the seeds of my voice have been planted. And I know that the Lord will water them and that goodness will spring forth. And as the Lord talks about, that justice would flow. You can't stop that. You may be able to stop me from coming to a country, but you cannot stop the Lord. The Lord is above you. And at the end of the day, the Lord controls your future. The wicked and the evil will perish.
Hey, that won't pay me. Oh. This is just a serious jab on Nigeria. Say this shows the character of people in the government. Hell. That we go, Nigerian officials will go to the media, both local and international, and they lie to the people. I can't remember this one whereby you just talk now, where you say they're just troublemakers and communal clash. Jim, sir, let me take your thoughts. It's painful to hear these things about our country.
I follow the guy assiduously, and in fact, I thank God for such a person to have come at the time he came. And I want to say that I thank God not necessarily because he's a white, but I thank God because he was able to voice out the raw truth to Nigerian leaders. Such raw truth, if Nigerians were able to do that, right now some of us would have been in prison. But this guy really risked his life, talk to us, do the work we are supposed to do. And the way he described Nigerian leaders is exact. It's up. They lie. That's why I said, defending this government is like telling Nigerians that it's going to be light in the next 2 days, 24 hours. There's nothing that this government cannot do to project the anomalies, the absurdities, the ignorance and colossal failures that we are noticing in this government. There's nothing. I think this government, I would say, is worse in terms of security architecture. Because as of today, every Nigerian live every day as if it's the last. Because you can't say anything. You don't know anything. You can just be in your bed and you're picked up. Sometimes I'm bothered. I'm bothered for those who are in the north. You know, we're in the south, a little bit relatively peace. But I'm just wondering, for instance, people who are staying in outskirts of Kwara State, Borno, all those Kasina, yeah, I don't think they will sleep. I don't think they sleep. Their life can be taken at any time. Their children cannot go to school because from school you can be picked. So you can imagine the agony that these parents are going through. And yet we have a government who are supposed to protect lives, lying even when they are not protecting lives. So sometimes I'm wondering how a government could say that a terrorist could be like what you said, the judge that said, is it Judge Justice Wanko saying that those people that were arrested or prosecuted or jailed that are terrorists, when they come, they should be rehabilitated into the
Nyanko,
society. To do
the justice who
yeah,
was handling
yeah,
this case, Justice Nyanko.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So who are you? I'm just wondering, for instance, if I notice that this man killed my mother, my father, my children, and I know this is the man, and he went to jail and come out, and then I reintegrate into the society, and I've seen this man. How do you think I will feel? So leaders are insensitive. They are so insensitive, they don't even care about the feeling of Nigerians. They don't care about the feelings of those who have been victimized and who are victims to this callousness. If you have empathy, you will know the impact of seeing a robber who robbed you, kill your mom, and tomorrow government is telling you that this man is a troublemaker. And tomorrow government is telling you this man is a prodigal son, he has just repented. Or he's telling you that, oh, this man has gone to jail, he's now out. So embrace him. That is the worst thing that can happen to any human being. And this government has nothing at stake than looking at how will 2027 they will package it and continue. And I'm telling you, uh, I'm wondering if these 3 years is like this, how much more can we endure in the next 5 years? Because it's getting to the nerves. And I wish and I pray that we don't have Arab Spring in Nigeria. And if we do, it's going to be a disaster. Because every Nigerian has gotten to the extent that some people will say, look, death is dead. If you stay at home, you'll die. You go outside, you die. The 2020 NSAS protest will be a child's play. And I pray it doesn't happen again. Because we are getting to that extent that people will say, look, what are we waiting for? How on earth will an individual, one person, with no clear identity, no clarity about himself or whatever, control 200 million, control intelligence that are in Nigeria, control intellectuals, control everybody's psyche, as if we are mentally deranged, as if we are
And we are
under
all standing on
spell.
the mandate. Do you know that Omahi, your brother, before he commission you, before you look at project now, they sing on your mandate? So we are all standing on the mandate. What does that mean? All right, sir. So maybe we just
Well,
move on. Mm.
yeah,
I wanted us to go on the way forward. Now, the little bit of hope where a lot of Nigerians maybe see for the 2027 election was the emergence of the ADC. People would have thought, okay, the PDP could still be salvageable, but unfortunately, with all the crisis, especially the legal cases with Sorindaram, and with INEC's quick reaction in recognizing Wike's led faction right now, so it looked like, say, the ADC would never be a formidable opposition for Tinubu in 2027. Sorry, the PDP rather would never be a formidable opposition for Tinubu in 2027 because you don't like say we cannot successfully pocket the PDP as in one pocketer. That's on the one hand. And then we can't look at the Labour Party, where we been contest before, also embroiled, still now in crisis. Now, so it starts like this ADC. Play. They can't get out of hand. And now ADC don't come up. When a lot of big wigs come out, can't give support for, say, now this party, now ADC they go follow. Nephew, issue come out. Third one, don't they now say that them. Make I quickly play you waiting Ponkoso talk. I don't know whether you speak our language, but here's what Ponkoso said. Because Ponkoso said he called Nephew Bala for a meeting, and him and Nephew supposed to meet. You know, for Nigeria, we respect our elders, and Ponkoso is an elder politician where Nephew is. And he said that Nephew did not oblige that interview. And then he warned that it would be bad if Nephew allows himself to be used to truncate democracy. Make we hear what it is. So now you go help us interpret, sir, considering that most of us don't speak Hausa.
Ni kaina abin da nake ta kokari kenan yi. Jiya muka yi za mu sadu da shi, to amma har asuba ina jiransa Allah bai sa ya zo ba, kuma dama wasu sun ce da ni ba zai zo ba. Wannan ya sa na samu rashin jin daɗi, kuma abin da nake so in gaya masa ina ganin watakila zan iya faɗa ma don ka gan shi ka gaya masa. Halin da ƙasar nan take ciki da wannan jama'iyya tamu da demokuraɗiyya bai kamata shi ya zama shi ne ƙadangaren bakin tulu ba. Ni a matsayina na shugaba a cikin wannan tafiya ta harkar siyasa a wannan ƙasa tamu da ita kanta wannan jama'iyya tamu, na ɗauka in na nemi in gan shi zai zo mu yi magana da shi, in ba shi shawarwari na ɗa da uba, da kuma a matsayinsa na matashi wanda ya shigo cikin wannan tafiya. Don na yi gugulin na ga an haife shi a 1990, to kaga yana da buƙatar ba shi shawara da sauransu. Abin da ya ɗauko a halin yanzu na tabbata ba zai taimake shi ba zai taimaki ADC da yake sanya shugabanta ba za ta taimaki Najeriya ba za ta taimaki demokradiyya ba. A nan nake kira ga dukkanin al'umma, musamman wanda suka gan shi, wanda ni na kasa ganinsa, da su ba shi shawara ta kirki. Wannan shawara ko ita ce ya cire hannunsa daga cikin wannan tsari na kawo ƙalubale ga wannan tafiya tamu. Ya duba mutane miliyoyi a ƙasar nan da suka yi rijista, musamman da sanar da ke cikin wannan jama'iyya aka iya cewa ƙarama ce, amma yanzu manya-manyan shugabanni sun shigo ta da nufin cewar za a yi abin da ya dace wa ƙasa. To idan ya zo ya tsaya ita da hanya, wannan zai zamanto kuskure ne babba, kuma ya kamata ya sani, musamman a gurinsa shi da yake matashi. Ina kira ga dukkanin mutane, domin an ce dan Gombe ne, ni ba saninsa ne ba, musamman shi mai martaba sarkin Gombe, da ya sa baki, ko shi ko iyayensa ko wasu mutane da sauran sarakuna su sa baki, da dukkanin 'yan siyasa wanda suka san shi, har da malamai da sauransu.
For those of us who do not understand Hausa language, can you help us interpret a bit of what he's saying? That's not all, but I don't want to bore some of us with all of the stories. What's in they try to talk, sir?
Well, I want Nigerians to start now to mark out those people who are bent to destroying democracy in Nigeria. I want Nigerians to start making history of Nigerian enemies, let me put it that way. And it's so unfortunate that the people where this government they use to scatter other parties are people who we respect. And it's so unfortunate too that the institution where me and you they pay tax to have become a one-man estate. I've always said it. A country where the institution is not well solidified, we will always have this kind of thing. I'm wondering how the acronym independence as ascribed into INEC will be justified by what we are seeing. Nigerians are seeing abracadabra. The more you look, the less you see. For instance, I've not seen where INEC has a local standard to register or delist a party or party leadership. It is only the court that has the right.
And that has been litigated to the Supreme Court before, where the Supreme Court even certified that it is an internal party issue.
It's a party, yeah. And prior to now, we've not had that it is no more internal party issue. It's now a national issue. And there was no letter, any new letter written by ADC faction in whatever this does, that was given to INEC. And even if it was given to INEC, they don't have any right to come to the open and say they are delisting party leadership. Is power drawn and is overboard. That's to tell you that this country.
How do we know that Tinubu is the one doing this? Because people will talk, say, human beings might just be driven by any action. Bala may just be driven by his own personal action, even though that there are evidences that he was involved in the entire process of the coalition. In fact, he even wrote it on his own, his confirmed Facebook post, thanking the opposition, the coalition, for choosing their party. So he was involved in it. He also accepted that it was him. So what made him change his mind, we do not know. But then people are saying that, why do we all think that the ruling party will be involved in this? Why person never go put sand for the ruling party? Why not other opposition only? Now we don't get third parties and factions. Why we never get factions for the APC?
There's something we used to say. It's not every dance that you move all the whole body. There are some dance to use your head. People know that the dance you're dancing, there's a lyrics to that. When the governor started defecting, we heard of many things that created that defections. People came out with an allegation of criminal records, some come up with some monetary inducement, some came up with second term, whatever. And as of now, APC has almost 32 governors out of 36, I think so.
They actually, in real terms, they actually have much more than that. Because I mean, Soludo, your brother, is an APC guy for all we care, because he has already by chance. Sheyi Makinde is referring to Tinubu. So not only a very few of them, one or two only, 9 people previously know.
See, I'm being conservative, so that it won't be as if, oh, Soludo, Makinde, I know OT is no. I know Bala.
OT is no. Is OT not Tinubu's friend, his former banker? Is that not what people are saying?
Let me tell you one point.
And also by himself that he doesn't have the capacity to talk about Tinubu's second term or stop Tinubu from going. Let me tell
you that there's a mistake we do have. Being an opposing party or being in opposition party doesn't make you enemies. It doesn't. I think people misconstrue that. For the fact that if you remember, I think Peter Bay had made some kind of statement sometimes. He was part of the economic team, I think either in Obasanjo regime or Jonathan regime. He wasn't a PDP governor, yet he's heading even the governors forum. As at that time, how many have got? And he headed. So being in opposition doesn't make you an enemy. But I think why people are a little bit uncomfortable with that. These governors that are defecting, there's nothing that we can say this is why you're defecting. And there are allegations which has not been refuted. Secondly, let me tell you something. A Democrat, if you, for instance, let's use American system as an instance. Trump know all his governors, so also the other people. You can't just defect. And that takes me back to the institution. If our institution is strong, the moment you defect, you lose your seat. Because people voted you based on the party platform. But here, it's becoming a jamboree. We are now jumping like monkeys from one banana to another. No consequence, no action, nothing. This is how democracy works. A president should be able to be seen very transparent and not lobbying. Remember, few times OT have been asked to join. Why should you ask an opposition leader or party leader to join your party? Why? What you're supposed to do is to protect your party, because the opposition party has their own ideology. They have their own policy. So how will I join a mandate that is filled with loans that our children, I don't know how they're going to repay that loans? How do you join a party that Nigerians have been provided, as of today, hunger has dealt with everybody? How do you join? I'm talking about people, you say, how do you? Because a reasonable governor will not. Remember what Wike said one time, that how can he leave malaria and go and join cancer? And today, Wike is now in that cancer and promoting it. So a reasonable person will not be able to say, look, I'm standing because I know that this mandate is not helping my people. It's all about self. So as far as I'm concerned, this government is tilting towards one party system. You know why? Let me tell you the reason. The reason is that despite all the House of Assembly or whatever number the governor they've had, I think they've had series of polls. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 polls. And they discovered that you may be with the governors, you may be with the leaders, you are not with the people. So this is the issue.
Wait, are you saying that the government is aware that they cannot win the election? They don't see polls.
They know.
How
they know.
Are you sure
they know. Yeah. Let me tell you, if you watch the trajectories, what is happening in Nigeria now, you discover that no average man or person in marketplaces or anything, you go down that we tell you that Tinubu is working. If you doubt me, go and stay in a bus and say Tinubu is good.
You want me to stone?
And see whether you come out. See whether you come out. without your teeth going out. You know, this is it. This is the reality. You, however, even those supporters, even those sycophants of Tinubu, they don't say it openly in the public. It's only when they are in the enclave. You can't say that. People will deal with you. You know. So the issue is it is glaring. It is very, very glaring. And they know that if this election is free and fair, I'm telling you, like somebody used to say, by 12 noon, election is already out, the result. Because nobody why do you even think about the president? Is it the lives? You know the number of people that have died, Nigerians have died. And do you know even the most annoying is that the day I think over 200 people were killed. Our head of state, our president, is jetting out to UK, to London for a tea party. And in that tea party, he didn't even have one single time to say, let's have a minute of silence for dead Nigerians. They were showing us parade where people are parading. What kind of insensitivity is that? I remember, I still make reference to that. I was in Marina then when I was working. When Net Building was burning, Shagari caught his trip abroad. And it was with the people. It was in fact with the fire service. It was more of how do you rescue the Nigerians that were trapped upstairs. That was he was directing. He was making calls. Airport planes are coming to take people who are stranded upstairs. This is leadership. Nigerians being, and you say that Nigerians are happy. Every single day. Today, many Nigerians are in ID camp. It's like that is where their lives are now. Nobody is thinking about taking them back to their homes. Nobody. So, am I going to talk about infrastructure? You can't travel from Lagos to Benin now on a stretch. The roads are death traps. And even when you're traveling, you're praying because you may be kidnapped. And now to fly from Lagos to Benin or wherever, you know how much it is. How many people can afford that? And I'm not even talking about the issue about transportation now. Now, you want to buy fuel in the east, in my area, now we're buying 1,500 per liter. To fill a car, or say, let me say Corolla, you're going to use 80,000, 90,000 to fill a car, which is more than the minimum wage. And your leaders are insensitive. A young man posted a video recently, and he posted and shared to me. It's in Iran that there was war. There was war in Iran. Iran, their fuel price still remains what it is, even as the war is ongoing. Meanwhile, we don't have much impact on the war. Look at how much we are buying fuel. The young man said, with 12,000 naira, you can fill your tank of any SUV. But you know, if you want to fill any SUV in Nigeria, you have 150,000 naira. And this is Iran that is fighting war. And this Nigeria is not fighting war. No subsidy. There's no country that don't have welfare package for its citizens. You must have something. You can't leave your citizens.
Did you know we have shared how many billion recently to how many households? We shared a lot of billions to a number of households.
Who?
And then we've been giving rights.
To who? Is any of your relations telling you that you are gotten any cover?
No, rice helps solve problems. They give rice.
So now we are government of rights by the right for the rights. Is that what we are? We're not talking about rice. We talk about life. What is rice? A bag of rice or 10 kg of rice. You about 1 week you're done. We don't talk about that. We talk about a country, a citizen that has dignity, where leadership dignifies citizens, where leadership has empathy. Do you know now? I don't know whether you've seen it. If you want to go, if you transfer money now from your account, you know you're taxed, you're charged. Huh?
If I buy
Now,
light, I am taxed, I'm charged.
tax.
If I buy food
Now,
in a restaurant, I am
you're
taxed, I
taxed.
am charged. Yes,
Now,
sir.
if you use your POS now to buy fuel, you're taxed.
Yes.
Now, they will tax you on maintenance fee. Now they will now tax you on gross or monthly gross of the transaction you make in a bank for a month. They will now tax you on that gross. Apart from the one they are taxing you on individual transactions, they will not tax you on gross. This is your money. So where can you say that this country you're getting better? Where can you say citizens are better? Now the fuel is not even steady. Thank God for Dangote, because the refineries that we are told have been repaired, none is working. Is there nothing the government can say, oh, let us do this to cushion the effect of what we are going through? Nothing. Most drugs now are fake. Most beer and stout are fake. Nigerians are going into different illicit businesses because the government don't care.
All right, sir. So let's quickly
So
get
where
back
do you
to how we change the government. What will be the possibility, say, the 2027 will be a better deal? The reason I'm asking this question is because of the problem going on with the ADC. And another faction don't come out again for ADC. Here is one of your brothers.
Of April 2026.
This
We
my
then
third
therefore
faction.
resolve and state as follows. 1. We dissociate the ADC from David Mark, Rafa Lereshala, Bolaji Agbulayi, Professor Subo, and all members of the so-called coalition who attempted to hijack our party, and state that all actions taken by them in the name of the ADC are not binding on the ADC. 2. We dissociate the ADC from the claims of Nafi Gombe and firmly and unequivocally state that he has never held the position of deputy chairman of the ADC. 3. The ADC remains a party of and for all Nigerians, and not just for former political office holders and the elites. The ADC is also not for sale. 4. The people who have called themselves the coalition have no democratic credentials and are only interested in the power grab.
Right, so let me stop it here. So this is the third faction now. He talks, say he don't disassociate himself from Nafiu Bala Gombe and disassociate themselves from the coalition. So they on their own and then be another ADC entirely. Interestingly, this young man, who we say this Obina, was once declared wanted by the Nigerian police. I don't know if you are aware of that. I'm trying to get a document. Let me see if I can get it very quickly. Oh, he was once declared wanted by the Nigerian police for some things. Let me see if I can get it very quickly. Please give me a second. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So interestingly, he was once declared wanted by the Nigerian police, and people are saying that who could have paid someone like this to do this job? That's him. That's him there. Okay, so now with all this faction and with all this problem, the ADC themselves, they resolute, say they will make sure say they appear for the ballot. Say nothing will make them go appear for the ballot. Even though legal protection, first of all, this now waiting some legal.
Mr. Ogun, you're the lawyer here. Where do we go from here legally? So if you guys can answer. Let me start with you, Mr. Ogun.
Section 83, subsection 5, has ousted the jurisdiction of court on the issue of leadership and membership. But that is not even all. Section 83, subsection 6, has also restricted the court from granting any interim or interlocutory injunction in matters relating to leadership or membership. The section 83(6)(b) has also imposed a fine of 10 million naira on any lawyer that makes this kind of application or file this kind of lawsuit in court. By and large, it is my position that Nafiu Gombe is the only plaintiff in this case that is disputed in court. So why should it affect the entire leadership of the party? It's a question begging for answer. In any event, my closing remark would be that INEC knows the truth. They stated the truth in the September 12th affidavit that was deposed to by Jacob Ayuba, their staff, in this case that is ongoing. What they need to do is to retract their stance, to retract their misinterpretation of the status quo order, and ensure that there is a leadership in place in ADC so that we don't kill our democracy.
So some people have said whether it's Nafiu or Mark or whoever, there should just be a leadership.
There must be a leadership.
Yes, Mr. Mohammed, I hope you understand the position now. It's not about who. It's that there has to be a leadership. But in closing, Mr. Mohammed,
it's a dangerous precedent.
So I don't know, Mr. Mohammed. First, the court is not supposed to entertain cases.
All right, sir. This now waiting some legal practitioners get to talk about that. So you can see that it is almost clear that INEC no get any stand to take to do what they do. Perhaps that's the reason we make the ADC themselves they resolute. They talk say nothing will make them not appear before the courts. However, people don't they look and say, how about if this is just an ordinary delay tactics by the INEC and government to make sure say court no hear their case until the deadline don't reach. Remember that we're running a very tight election calendar. So
time, yeah.
And they come make us show you what Timbalaji Abdullah he talked this evening for inside.
One councillorship election, and you say, oh, we have multi-party democracy. That is pseudo multi-party democracy. That is false democracy. And we are saying, in the African Democratic Congress, we are saying Nigeria will not become a one-party state in our generation. We will do everything within the law to resist it. You see, what is bringing all this? I'll tell you. President Bola Tinubu believes in numbers, polls. He believes in polls. They've done polls. And the numbers are bad.
Bad for you or bad for them?
Bad for them. Because Nigerians, they have the governors, they have the... But Nigerians...
You don't think that they are popular on the ground now?
No, Nigerians don't want them anymore. Tell me one thing that they have done that Nigerians will say, oh, we are happy, let them continue. One thing.
So the feeling now, the feelers that you are getting is that there is a tacit political rejection of the APC and the Tinubu government.
They have evidence.
And you have a feeling that
they have evidence that Nigerians have rejected them. And that answers the question of why they will have 32 governors, will have almost everybody in the National Assembly, and have everything, and still be panicking, and still be, because they know the numbers don't lie. One councillorship strategy to the public. When your parties are listening.
If you do have, you say you have.
No, it doesn't.
But I'm asking, do you have?
We do have options. We do have
political options.
We do have options. All options. One thing I can guarantee is that we will contest the 2027 election.
On the ADC platform?
We will contest the 2027 election on the ADC platform.
How do you want to do that? Should I do the permutation for you, sir? Should I give you a quick summary?
Hang on, Sheol. Regardless of what has happened to Nigeria, we are confident, we still have confidence in the judiciary. And we believe that we have a slam dunk case. And we believe that if we are granted the accelerated hearing today and the court sits, we are confident that justice will be done. We have no doubt in our mind about that. While we are preparing for the best, while we are hoping for the best, we are also preparing for the worst. What that worst case scenario is, I will not tell you. But what we will not do is to roll over and die. Because to give up, to roll over, is to be complicit in the destruction of Nigeria's multi-party democracy. And we will not be complicit.
Is there anything wrong with Nigeria multi-party? Is there anything?
Of course.
Is it?
I know you're just playing the devil's advocate.
No, but I'm asking.
Because the handwriting is very clear.
You have almost 20 or more political parties in Nigeria.
Come on. You see, all those other countries where you say they have one party state, it's not that there are not other political parties. You see all these small political parties hanging around, that they call and give money, just like many of these political parties have been. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to real electoral contest in Nigeria, even if we have like 30 political parties, it comes down to 2-3 political parties at the end of the day. Now, when you have destroyed all the political parties that are likely to pose any challenge, any real challenge at the election, and what you are left with are these small political parties that are not likely to even field presidential candidates.
All right, sir. So you don't see all the drama. With all these dramas, how you think, say, their resolution, their resolve could fit help and rescue Nigeria for 2027? Do you think that's what it takes to win the election in 2027? And waiting make then they pursue them like this if actually person and the inside?
Yeah, I still believe that anything can happen. It's only life that is not static. The dynamism in life is very important. We should learn from it. I still believe that those that are in ADC will contest, as Bola just said. I'm sure they have something up their sleeves. But the issue is that APC never wanted anybody to contest with them. And that will kill democracy in Nigeria. And I believe that in politics, 1 week is enough. If you remember that this serious problem of ADC, when it started, the coalition wasn't looked at as anything. They were just thinking it's people who are, who are being discontrolled elements. They are just running around. They are just, But now, those people are becoming solid. If you look at the people who are forming ADC or who are in ADC leadership, you see none of them is pushover. And it now became very tsunamic when Kano State joined through Papazo. I think it was that Papazo that really gave out ADC.
So it was coming back when they say they need to agree again, they no go do again.
That was it. Because the mammoth cloud, nowhere have you seen that kind of mammoth cloud. Nowhere. And you can see it's like a religion. And there's no way they know. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, the issue is that there's going to be somebody who's going to contest with the President Tinubu. Nigerians are waiting. And I'm telling you, the youths are waiting. And I'm telling you, the day somebody like either Atiku or B gets it anywhere, I'm telling you, you will see tsunami. It will be a massive movement. And don't forget, I think somebody was telling me, what about your party membership? I said, party membership, it doesn't discriminate when you're voting. Your voting is different. You can have your party as this A, your voting can be for B. So, and that is the ultimate. Assuming the party membership is part of what is going to be used as a judge to know who actually voted for which party. But I'm telling you today, if Amechi, Wapanzo, Obi, Atiku, and some big wigs in ADC decide today to go to NDC, which was just formed yesterday, and which Senator Dixon is asking them to come. I'm telling you, if they join, you will see that ADC will die like a Labour Party.
I'm coming because I hear that there's a slippery slope already in the NDC. I hear say, first of all, INEC will no one register them. Now, court case, now make INEC register them. And therefore, people are saying
that is
most people move to NDC now, that they will go and resurrect that court case and court to do the magic that they're supposed to do, and NDC will be no more.
No, I know, but the one thing I want to say, please, Nigeria is not like Cotonou, it's not like Cameroon. Nigeria is not like it's not like Benin. Nigeria is look, Nigeria may be stupid, but they are not. They are very intelligent. Nigerians cannot. You can't. There's no way you can trade on Nigerians. No way. This Tinubu that is just making this abracadabra. It's just a matter of time. Even if today he ends the second term, it will end. But I'm telling you, if we muzzle it like this, and eventually there's a change, I'm telling you, people can call him to order. You see, and that's why I'm saying, look, Nigeria should take note of what is happening now. There should be history, documented history. For anybody who says he's a Democrat and is trying to destroy what democracy means, that person is not a Democrat. Just like the lawyer said, you have leadership of almost, in the leadership cadre of a national party, you have not less than 45 members. 45, not less than 45 members. If in a democracy, and one person say, no, I don't want this. In democracy, you look at the number of people who say yes, and that wins the vote. And that is why I think the justice or the law, based on the Supreme Court judges, state that internal party conflict should be resolved within the party. And how do they resolve that party? It is still through democracy. Oh, we have a problem. People who believe in this, raise your hands. And people who don't believe, they raise their hands. And the majority wins. Now, how will you take only one single individual? And because of one single, you now dissolve the entire system. It's like cutting the neck. How do you want the body to work? And you know what INEC did that was so absurd was, you delisted all the leadership. And you didn't make any provision to say, okay,
Exactly.
this person, that's no way. This is
leadership. You remember that when that happened, we just said that INEC should have recognized Bala, Nafi Bala as.
Yeah.
So for which
they didn't recognize it.
Where the problem is coming.
They didn't recognize it. So how will you cut a head and you didn't put an alternative? That's to tell you how serious, how.
Oh dear, network. I'm so sorry.
And even as a son, it's so fortunate that you can remove the head of a home and you didn't put anybody to head that home. At least if for nothing.
Oh dear, so sorry, Dr. Maduka. Network. Okay, Nigerians will be opening the phone lines shortly so that we'll begin to take on our thoughts and our reaction. Dr. Maduka, can you hear us? Dr. Maduka, are you there? Okay, so while we are waiting for Dr. Maduka to rejoin us, and let us quickly play. Dr. Maduka, are you there?
That is you.
Okay.
Killed that
Hello?
person because what you did when you cut off it. So when you see a learned person behaving, it's like the ruling party is involved. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like Because I don't see any reason, even as a layman as I am, we have community leadership. I am the community leader in my place. I'm the president general. If a court says, oh, PG, you're no more part of it, the actual thing to that any reasonable law will do is, oh, let your deputy preside over, so that there shouldn't be a vacuum in the leadership.
There should not
Because
be.
when you have
Just
a vacuum, it be,
God
there
forbid
should
if
be.
our president saying don't resign now. You can't believe if he resign, Chisima resign, even
Yeah,
Fabio resign. There must be somebody who will fill up the space. So we cannot
I
leave
can say
vacuum
that's
again.
what that's why we have deputy. That's why we have deputy. The deputy is to, in case you have assistant secretary general of ADC. If you remove Areboshola, the assistant should take over. If you remove David Mark, the deputy should take over. So that should be a debate. So that you, when you are even doing your correspondence, when you're writing to all the parties, maybe you are inviting them for a meeting, there should be somebody you should relate to that should come to represent that party. Now, that means that if NEC is calling a party meeting now, there's nobody who's going to represent ADC. Where on earth have you seen that kind of? And the person who is giving all this law is somebody who's supposed to be a professor of law. And we that are not lawyers, we can at least by our own menial idea about life, about it being normal or reasonable, we should be able to know that an entity should not have a vacuum. Nowhere in this earth. Nowhere. So that is why people are really pointing out that they just want to kill, because when you kill the head, you have mostly killed the body, because it's the head that controls everything. And that is what INEC want to do. And I'm telling them that they cannot even, they can't, even if they do.
What do you think? What do you envisage will happen? The ADC has said that they're not giving up. They want to pursue this case to a logical end because they know that they're in their rights. Some people are thinking that, oh, waiting court could just delay so that when they say time don't go well, now they go down. If courts do that one, the courts themselves now no go they complicit of killing democracy if they do that one. So thirdly, the ADC said they have a worst case scenario agenda, but how you take see even that worst case scenario, how you think see the same thing will happen to others not gonna happen to them again. What do you think will play out? Do you see a 2027 election where only Tinubu will be the major contender?
I think the worst thing, that the tragedy,
Something will happen to Nigeria, really.
Yeah, the tragedy of APC will start when they feel that Nigerians are docile, and that docility will continue forever. Get me right. I said the tragedy that APC will have at their hands is to believe that Nigerian docility will continue forever. There's one adage that says, when you push somebody to the wall becomes his power or his legs. Nigerians, our leaders have one thing in mind. They believe that Nigerians can take anything. They can be insulted, they can do that, they just keep quiet and they will not do anything. And that is what the concept that APC is believing to hold sway for them. And that will be their undoing. I'm telling you, 2027, go and mark it up. If APC think that they can muzzle everybody, every party, and become the sole party, and for the president, whom Nigeria have not seen as protecting them, I'm telling you, that would be their tragedy. Nigerians have sat on the fence for quite a long time. And I'm telling you, every Nigerian is watching. And the only hope that Nigerians are looking on is ADC. And if it's truncated by whatever maneuvering, by all this propaganda, the tragedy will continue. And I'm telling you, I'm not a pessimist. I'm not a negativist. I'm not thinking about anything negative in Nigeria, but I'm telling you that 2027, APC may not find it easy with Nigerians, because Nigerians now are going to know that all these intrigues is because they just want one person to be on ballot post. And the worst aspect of it, that if this one person had been doing well, I'm telling you, Nigeria will relax. If this one person has given hope to the hopeless, Nigerians won't react. If this one man has protected the lives of Nigerians, Nigerians wouldn't mind. If this one man has given food to the hungry, Nigerians won't bug. If this one man has make life a least miserable for Nigeria, they won't mind. But this one man has created vacuum of hunger, poverty, insurgents, terrorists. People cannot sleep, people cannot move around, everybody is stand still. I'm telling you, some few Nigerians will say, look, it is either we die or we rescue this country. And it's going to happen.
All right.
It's going to happen.
Okay. So speaking about dying or rescuing this country, very quickly, somebody threatened somebody death. So Wiki, I don't know whether you see that threat, saying threatening, saying for shoot, Shewon Kimaloye, Shewon responded, Wiki said,
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened in our press? When that was there, he was there, and people just capitalize on things. Even when I explained there, that look, it's not correct. I didn't say I will kill him. All I was trying to explain, figuratively, look, I was wondering, how can you descend so low? You're an interviewer. Do you understand me? How do you now begin to say something that you're no longer interviewing your guest? You are now saying this is what is going on. It's not fair. So that has to, if I can break this marriage, how can you break this? I mean, how can? And people will capitalize on everything. Those that have defeated severally, then they will come under you people, say, look, do this. What do you expect people like Atiku to do that? Say, I made him to fail election. He cannot be happy with you naturally. Yes, cannot be happy. So, but people should not be used. When I mean you people, I'm not talking about the AIT. No, it should not be, the media should not be used. Stand firm. If you believe what you're saying is correct, stand firm. But if you know that in your conscience is not correct, you don't need to bring such story out, because you don't know the danger or the damage you have caused. And now that we have our social media, all kinds of story. I don't know whether it's April Fool, when somebody said I've resigned to contest for, and even for my signature. Well, I call it April Fool. But you see, people were calling left, right, and center. All kinds of things. But I believe that we will get it right and continue to do what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. There was a time I was angry with what do they call them? What they call them? Somebody, is it your reporter? Yeah. Is it reporter? But he had been forgiven. Yeah, because he has shown that he will change. You know me, I don't do it in secret. I do it open through Benga's intervention. I watch news all the time. I do. Once it's 8 o'clock, anywhere I am, on the IT I watch. 10 o'clock in channel I watch. 7 o'clock in TV, so I watch it. So let me see where the enemies are coming from, So I don't want people to tell me what they said. I want to hear it by myself. So you can see I know look at AIT by 8, TVC by 7, channels by 10. Even in 12, I come back to you 12 midnight to watch everything. So I'm not the kind of person that somebody will say, they told him. No. I will make sure I watch it before I go and sleep. So that I know that if AIT is the problem, I know how to handle them. If it is the diaspora, I don't have to do them. So
it's sad, but I just thought to bring that to the fore because we had carried the report initially. I don't know if you have anything to say about that before we move on.
Yeah, he messed up on his last statement. He messed up. You know, he said, "I know how to treat them. You know, I know how to treat them." So that means that there still that melancholy in him. So he believed that he owned everybody. You know, so if any TV station mess up, he will know how to deal with them. So that is still a threat. You know, just like what I said, you know, so that we don't lose the contest. It was not that anybody, no, but I'm just saying that Nigerians, the venom in Nigerians will explode, you know, because as at now, everybody just watching. The calmness is not
Are you
too...
sure Nigerians will ever get to that level where they will explode? Are you sure? Nigerians are very tolerant, extremely tolerant.
No. The tolerance is getting out.
What suffer when they go through where they never suffer before? You think they will ever act anyway?
Precious, let me tell you, we can go through any suffer anything, but this killing is becoming a routine. You know, where some villages they've all vacated. Most of these are big men that is Abuja. Some of them cannot go home to their villages. Especially in the north. Some of them 2 years they've not gone to their villages because they have been ransacked. So you can't tell me that you are except you're not human being to feel the pain of others, you know, because you know that the person you killed is a Nigerian like you. It could be you. So you should have the pain. So if Nigerians can go through hunger, they can go through other trauma, that you see, when human lives become a bargain, become a commodity, the tendency that everybody will say, look, that's what I'm saying about, you know, Nigerians will look, what are we waiting for? Just like people are saying, defend yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Nigerians will try to defend themselves. And in that defense, it could culminate into another thing. Don't forget that most of the revolution that starts, or that we heard about, it starts on a simple thing. Simple thing. And before you know it, the entire country is in revolt. So revolt doesn't start like something you know. No. There was a way that hardship will get to Nigerians, and there's a way Nigerians will be chased, and they say, we want to go home. And in that going home, they've already planned their life, and they'll say, look, it's better to die in our ancestral home than dying outside. And it's coming to that. Do you imagine now you cannot go in your village, and you heard that your brothers and sisters, none of them is in the village, and some of them you don't even know where they are? How do you feel as a Nigerian? So these are the issues I'm looking at. If it's hunger, we are used to it. If it's other things, we are used to it. But you know, killing has become how many? So Nigerians are no empathy again. It's like how many today, how many tomorrow, and you know what happened now is that when you kill 10 today, and tomorrow there's another 5. So with that, yesterday was even 10, today is even 5. So that means that's a reduction, you know. So, but we don't look at the cumulative, and this is the agony of an average Nigerian. And I'm begging Nigerians, look, for the fact that you're not affected, don't feel that you are immune, because that person's corpse, you think that's a wooden box, could be your own, your brother or your sister. Nigeria is at war with itself. Yeah.
All right, sir. All right, Nigerians, phone lines are open. Let's have you, call in to bring in your thoughts. You can follow the link on the pin post, and it's to bring you straight into the studio, or you call the WhatsApp number still on that pin post, 0817-0294077. That's the number to call. 0817-0294077. That's the number to call, or you just click on the link on the pin post and get straight into the studio. So talking about Nigerians being frustrated, I think I could literally only you hope to in the past. And they tell them shame like that. Is that good? Is that good?
No,
They're shaming the whole
it
our
has not
president.
started.
That now,
No,
so
it has not started.
Is that good? Eh?
It's present. It has not started. Though. I'm telling you.
Just one
You
more.
will see what will happen. Okay. Somebody to call him.
No, it's okay. I said
Okay, let
just
me.
one more.
Okay. No, it's not warm up. Let me tell you. You will see what happens. In every campaign ground, the president must have a bullet, something like a bulletproof canopy. I'm telling you, in every campaign, because people are not happy. Have you seen what happened in Kano? Have you seen what happened in other areas where you see the presidential aspirants shaking hands, being free with the people? When have you seen a president in the midst of people? Look at the excuse that Bayo was giving in the Just episode. He said because there's going to be night, the traveling for airport to the scene is going to be 40 minutes. Why didn't you plan it? You have a presidential jet. You know this planning, so you don't think that you can take 40 minutes before you get there, and you can able to meet on at the airport. And even at that, you told them that you have only 10 minutes. That's the worst thing that can happen. There's not even empathy when he was saying it. No single remorse. You look at the face, like, let me just say it. So press releases, human life doesn't really matter. What are you talking about? Presidential jet that's at your disposal. If you know it's why don't you leave earlier? Because it's not the airport that people want you to see. They want you to see the scene of what happened. So you can see the carnage. You can see the houses that were burnt. You can see how people were born. Live, so that you can feel it. You can feel the impact. You are at the airport, where AC and light. What kind of leadership is that? What kind of leadership? And I'm praying, I'm hoping that as 2027 election is coming, that the Tinubu will campaign openly, or this time around maybe, and that's what we are looking at. They don't even want to campaign, so that day is only him on the ballot post. Because if he campaign, look at this thing that happened. Now it's just a warm up. Go ahead, I'm with you.
All right. So I want to show you one of the bus terminals with our week here. Our walking.
God, this is Kubo bus terminal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Something that I have not done inauguration yet. Oh, this is bad. Just 2 minutes rain have removed everything. Everything. Something that millions of money was spent. Oh my God. You say it's a fake project? Please don't say that, sir. Don't say that. Could it be a fake project? Oh my God. The rain, was this rain heavy? The breeze now. The breeze, oh my God. This is bad. They use fake material, man. Man, see your face also in case if they look for you. Oh, that's why they hide your face. Oh my God, this is bad. This is so bad. We have been stuck here for like 3 hours. For 3 hours we have been stuck here. Oh, this is so bad. This is bad. This is bad. Fake materials. Mama, why you
I think make I show you some of the work. And you know that Wiki, in fact, now him be one of the ministers when they under the treasury single account, they're under TSA. So because of all the good work, so they done this now one of those numerous works, and they can see how bad it costs. Remember the billions where he spend to do renovation. That's it. But just before I take the phone calls, make I show you waiting a video where they trend or where they make the round of waiting, and they say good luck Ebele Jonathan talk about it recently.
If by divine providence you win the election, your first responsibility is to unite Nigeria. Without unity, we cannot solve our security problems. Without unity, we cannot solve our economic problems. So if you unite Nigeria, that is the beginning of a new Nigeria and a revolution, development or otherwise, that will take place. I've been listening to comments from, of course, the political leaderships, and sometimes even our supporters do more damage than on our behalf. And I must commend you because your utterances so far have not shown any division. I must commend you on that. And just keep doing what is right, because you are to be if you win, you'll be a president for the whole nation. You'll not be a president for any group of people. But I must commend the Labour Party, the utterances. Though sometimes people complain about the media, social media supporters. But to you,
I think he said this, during the 2023 election, and people are now retrending this conversation, saying that P2B shows that he's not biased, not tilted towards division in any way. Do you agree with that? Because some people will say that, oh, he's a regional leader, oh, not only Igbo. So, do you agree with that?
Yeah, in fact, first, let me just take 1 minute to talk about the damage, whatever. One, I want to take you to, when we have leaders that when they are spending money, they feel that the money is not theirs, so they can spend it anyhow without or ensuring that prudence works. One of the things that I like about government, even when I'm working, I have one phrase that I say, good intention is not prudence. You may have good intention, but it's not prudence. One, most of the construction you see by Nigerians, they lack what we call environmental impact assessment. Before you put up that kind of gigantic project, you must look at the environment. You must assess the impact. Is that where you have the wind trunk? You know what I mean? The wind trunk. There must be something that you must look at, just like what has happened to our Lagos Calabar channel. And I think Useni asked that question. Did you conduct environmental impact assessment? I remember what Omar was talking. Engineer Omar started abusing
by experience.
It was it was abusing everybody. But these are the things you are supposed to do. And only for us to see that after 30 kilometers, we discovered that the roads are already given away. So this is it. So that is it. Now coming to P2B, and I don't want to be biased on this. Everybody has always said it. If there's any one man that has been in every part of the country, eating and supping and mixing with people, is him. He has gone everywhere. He has made friends everywhere. And he used to say that his ADC, when he was a governor, was from the north. And not only that, if you listen and you see him sometimes, you discover that he's always preaching for unity. The biggest rice mill in the north, I've forgotten the name of the guy. He came and said that when he was looking for loan to start that rice business, and he went all the banks, it was only Obi that granted him that rice. Obi didn't know him, but because he came with a good proposal, he came with a good project study plan, and that was why he was given the loan. So he didn't look at this and say, "Oh, because this man is from the north." And if you watch Obi's utterances, he has never talked about an Igbo man or Yoruba man or this. No, has always been everywhere, and that is why in that 2023, if you look at the figures that Obi got, you discover that he won even most northern states, and even in the Lagos state, that the man who built Lagos boasted. The man who built Lagos, he lost even his own booth. to tell you that he's a detribalized person. And probably that's why Lagos has become something else. Now Igbos have become a target for everything. And meanwhile, it wasn't the issue, it wasn't the objective. People who voted weren't Igbos. People who voted were outside. In Lagos, the metropolitan. So you will see all manner of tribes. So now it was assumed because Obi was Igbo, it was not Igbos that voted for him. No, he got more votes than anything you can talk about. In fact, that's where he got the highest vote, which was later manipulated. So Obi, for me, it's not because I'm an Igbo man. I think he's a man that I respect. I respect him for another thing, his simplicity in life. His simplicity in life is exactly what we want now. Somebody who is not so much enticed by flamboyance, exotic living, no. And that's what Nigerians need now. Nigeria need somebody who is empathic. If you watch, every time there's a disaster, he will go. Why I think he stopped recently, I think I did some inquiries. I said, why he's not going to Jos, he's not going to Benue or Kwara or Nasarawa recently, that the government is now blocking his movements because they knew that at every instance where there was any disaster, you will see him there, commiserating with people, condoling them, consoling them, telling them, look.
Basically doing what government won't do.
Exactly. And even at times donating. So now it's become a threat. So government is shutting down. You remember what happened to the Benue when the governor even said, no, you shouldn't come. So these are the issues. I'm telling you, if not because of this government plan, I'm telling you that Obi would have been in Kasina, would have been in Kwara, would have been in Jos, would have been all these places that you have it is a communal or whatever troublemakers according to it's happening. He would have been there. And if you see him, he's walk freely. He walks freely, anywhere he is, you can see the evidence. People want to touch him, people want to feel him. And there's no evidence of haughtiness or being proud or whatever. So this is what makes leaders. And this is what, if you look at, I admire the transition in Netherlands, where the incoming came with a bicycle to take over, and the handover was just simple. Within 5 minutes, everything's done. And the guy just left, came in, climbed his bicycle, and take off. And that's it. There's no much, long convoy of military and everything, and which is killing this country. I think Obi is such a person that when all this nonsense will stop, and it happened in my Abia state now. I'm not talking about it. OT is emulating that.
Have you seen the convoy of the fire service Oga when he visited his village?
Yeah, no, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. I don't even want to talk about it. But I'm telling you that even when OT comes to a what do you call it, a traffic light, it stops, and it doesn't use siren. But you can see what is happening opposite. Everybody is siren. Papa, look at it, like you said, a whole service or just fire service team. Look at the number of convoy, and you think that is normal. Meanwhile, in many hospitals, there's no ambulance, there's nothing, no equipment. But you can have this kind of convoy. I'm not talking about the son of the president. I'm not talking about the daughter of the president. I'm not talking about the wife of the president. I'm not talking about the first sister of the president. I'm not talking, nobody has been talking about the yacht. People have not been talking about the yacht that the president has, which what it means. So we see everything about this government is like illicit. Nothing else. It's illicit. Nothing you can say. But this is not what Nigerians need. Nigerians need a leader who is empathic, who will understand their pains. But when elites are there, they don't care about your pain. What they're after is leading you. Whether you're dying or not, that's not their concern. But we need leadership that understand the pains of Nigerians, not the one that don't care. People die, doesn't care. I'm just wondering if it's Obi that's in leadership and you have 200 Nigerians killed in a day. I'm wondering if he will have ventured even to travel out without turning back to go to that victim's place. So that's what we have. And the same people are talking about 2027. In fact, 2027 is the issue now. You go to Abuja everywhere now. It's like, and if you put any other poster, you're in trouble. You can imagine what happened in Benin, to the extent that the governor said it openly that no other party should campaign, no other party should put their placard, and nobody cautioned him that this is democracy. We are not in military regime. Even in military regime, nobody cautioned him. So APC governors fail, and that's why you see people migrating. They feel that because they are with the president, they are now marshals. So nobody can talk to them. Sadly, our security agencies are not doing what they're supposed to do. Any utterance that is not befitting, that person must be asked questions. You shouldn't at any point, because you elected as a governor, to threaten another citizen. You're not different from anybody because you're a governor, because you're a president. Every citizen is equal. It's just that somebody must lead at a certain time. That does not give you the privilege of rascality, the privilege of boasting or making people to look as if they are not humans. We are all humans. Nigerians are humans, and we must be treated like humans. That is what we need APC to do. And if they can do that, then they don't need to talk about 2027. They don't even need to muzzle anybody. Because if you do good things, nobody tells you what to do. Nobody is talking. All the propaganda here in Abia about OT, nobody listens because we see the work. Nobody, it's the people, it's even the cities, the people that are talking. Have you heard the OT one day come and talk, vote for me? No, it's the people, because we know that 24 years was the West in Abia, that people are not even proud to say they are Abia. But today, anybody who says I'm from Abia, and you know what? OT didn't choose people based on their tribe or their religion. He chose people who are competent, who can deliver. And I'm telling you, I'm here, I'm in the part of the government. Most in this government, we have Yorubas, we have Hausas, we have people from outside the country. He chose people he knew that will work according to what he wants to achieve. And that's why we're achieving. So I didn't know him from Adam. But how he got to know me is okay. And some of them are working. And nobody tells you. Nobody campaigns. All this they are talking about propaganda, it doesn't work. When you work, your work will campaign for you. Nobody campaigns. Your work will campaign for you. It's when you don't work, you now use rice and spaghetti to think that will change people's minds. And that will campaign for people. Or you put 5,000 like the one we saw. People will be sharing that we are giving people 1,000 naira. And they give you, what the hell? What the hell? Here, nobody shares money for anybody. But people still say, wow, what you're doing. If in the next 4 years we are living, I was telling somebody, if we are living in the next 4 years, we'll be proud of what, even if we didn't get elected, you can come to Abia and say, for 4 years, this is what Oti has done. And you can enumerate them. That is leadership. You don't need to talk about, you don't need to coerce people. We don't share money. So this is it. So APC should do something, especially in the area of security. When we come on board, there was a serious security problem in Abia State. Serious one. People were being, just like what is happening in Kwara. But the SLS tackled it. That was first thing they did. We knew the route. We headed to the route, Lopanta, and it was stopped. Let me tell you, what Gumi said is the truth. If any government tells you that they are not aware of how to stop insurgents or how to stop terrorism or how to start down bandits or kidnappers, they are lying. They are lying. Because you have every apparatus. But that power to do it, that's it to do it. And the most critical, getting the right people to do it is the problem. We believe in nepotism, we believe in tribalism, bigotry, religiousism, and that's what is killing us.
All right, sir. Let me
Today,
quickly open the
yeah.
phone lines. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Let me quickly open the phone lines so that Nigerians can jump in on the conversation. And it's already 2 hours to the time, so that I don't keep you for too
Okay.
long.
Yeah.
Please,
Okay.
Nigerians, call 90.08170294077 or click on the link on the pin post and get straight into the studio. MC, go ahead with your question and welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, Precious. Good evening. Good evening to your guests as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
And good evening to your viewers. Like I always say, yeah, a house divided on itself can never stand. So that's for
Yeah.
that. And again, sir, if I may say, in this ADC crisis now, the ADC is just a platform. The
Yeah.
people are the parties. The people are the party, not the platform. If one
Absolutely.
person, okay, they've noticed that this so-called nobody know where he came from, that calls himself the leader of the country. Everybody knows that is the one causing the confusion back and forth. Why can't they just I believe, like I said, let me just hope and believe that yes, they have plans because the people, they are smart because they know what is going on. They can easily get on that platform. The people will follow. So the platform, they know that that platform has not been tempted, and let's hope that they've learned something for this platform. Now they've learned, they see what is happening because it's the same playbook as well. They've seen it as well now. But by the next one, they should make sure that nothing like that will happen. It's clean and nobody can penetrate it, and they just move there. And I'm rest assured that Nigerians as well will follow. The people, all of them will follow as well, and leave them. Let the people that have collected the bribes and everything, let them keep fighting themselves there. You understand? So I'm just asking on that. That's number one. If you can elaborate on that aspect as well.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
again,
Yeah.
yeah, and again, the regarding this money set aside that for the judiciary in case they lose the election or they win the election or whatever, which they will use in fighting fighting their wrongdoings and all that. Is that money? Is it supposed to be so? Does the government has the right to do that kind of a thing? Put that kind of a stuff on the budget? If anything of such, it should be the parties should be responsible for that, not using the taxpayers' money, the public money, to do that. So,
Yeah.
and what is the house? I know the National Assembly, like the so-called Senate president, they know how they got to that seat. He wasn't supposed to be there. So, but what is the house doing about that particular line, that budget that was put in there? Because Nigeria was supposed to be talking about that now. Normally, because I feel that is another impeachable offense.
Yeah.
You get me?
Sure.
Because that is 100% wrong. So that's on that one. And again, I understand that there is a law now that if if Nigerians can start recording police on duty, even while the police are on duty, that the Nigerians can start recording them. If eventually maybe they stop them or anything of such, the recording can start going on and all that, and they cannot stop them for doing it. So if you can
Yeah.
elaborate on that, please.
Okay. 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 Let me start with the first question. The first is about look, there's no problem with what we have. The problem we have is judiciary. Is that the problem? There's no problem about whatever. For instance, if they jump to another party, bribe and corruption has messed up our judiciary. So if they jump to another party, the tendency is that they will still come up with the same issue. Don't forget, the only party now that is a little bit nascent, I would say, that has no problem with NDC, which are just registered. And even that registration was because the court granted them that access to be registered. Initially, they were not able to be registered until they got court injunction. That was why they were registered. So, but I believe that the guys in ADC are not just sitting down. Like the man said, they are going to have alternative. I believe so. I believe so. Now they are working on alternative, which I will not disclose yet, but I know they are working for alternative. We still have almost a month for all that is happening. So within in the next 1 week, I'm sure you will hear more about what the next move is going to be. On the other, about the INEC, 1.4 trillion for both, you know, some of us have been laughing over it. And I say this is the money to be shared. Why am I saying this? Every Nigerian, we have name. Our name is linked to our phone, to our tax identification number, to our banking. And I've advocated that Nigeria do not need to spend anything less than probably 50 or 100 billion instead of 1.3 or 1.4 trillion. This is my advocacy, which I've made public, and wherever I am, I've always stated it. We do public polls. We use even Gmail. We use our phones. Every voter's card carrier has a code. Your code can be captured, and every voter has a phone number attached to each voter's card. On the day of election, INEC will go to all the service providers, pay them whatever they want to pay. You can get our election done in 1 day. With your PV number and a specific code attached to you and your name, they can send you something like text message. That text message drop in your phone, you scroll, you see presidency, you see the number, you tick the one you want to tick. You scroll to the House, the Senate, you scroll, you tick, you go to governor, you tick up to the House of Assembly, you submit. The thing goes straight to the central server and it's delayed. You can watch it. You can watch as the polls are ongoing. And I'm telling you, you give it a time between.
So who's preparing this? Who they prepare this one now?
Yeah, we have takes. We have take gurus now in Nigeria. The ones we do.
What makes you think that the ruling party will allow us to have such transparency?
No, that one I'm telling you. You know, he's talking about the money we have been spending.
Oh,
that we will not need to spend that money, which I agree with him.
I know, and I like the idea you're bringing forth, but in my mind, that if you say, why would they talk this kind of idea when we know, say they know we won't make it happen in the first place?
No,
just
it's not because
for direct
precious.
Transmission.
For the fact that we are not doing right thing doesn't mean we can't talk about right thing.
I agree with you.
You get what I mean? So what we are doing is to talk the right thing. Yeah, even if it's not somebody can come up tomorrow and say, hey, what man, I want to do this right. And it's as simple as ABC. We have tech guys that can devise this thing. I said, oh, even us, we do survey online. And as you vote, you see your vote. It doesn't mean anything. And you don't need to spend somehow trillion. That trillion can buy at least some states, even if it's 10 states, you can buy one ambulance or two ambulance to each state of the federation. That ambulance will help to save people's lives. That this 1.0 shared with logistics, with vehicles, INEC will just be in their states and they can gather and collect information. You don't need the problem of transportation. You don't need of risking the lives of people. Everything could be done. It will help the citizens. So that's it. So, but unfortunately, because of the Nigerian factor, people like to take money. And I'm telling you, this 1.3, at the end of it, it goes. Now, the third one you asked about police recording. Please, my brother, I'm asking you. I know you may not be in Nigeria, but I beg you, when police stop you, don't record. If you want to record, record secretly. Please don't say because the law. It is only when you are alive you will talk about the law. There was something we used to talk in when I was doing my PhD in the transport. They said a trailer and a beetle, they are coming to a tragedy. They are coming to, let me put it in layman's language. They are coming to roundabout. The trailer, the beetle was on the right lane. It was on his right. The trailer is not on his right. But because the beetle said that it's on the right, he entered, and the trailer now crushed the beetle. They now ask you a question: who is right? so, so is it not when somebody's alive that you come and say, "I'm alive," or "I'm right"? So Nigerian police has not gotten to that extent where you can video. But if you want to do the video, my advice, do it secretly. Because even as that now, when you're making a call and you're closer to a checkpoint, you are supposed to stop making that call. If you don't stop, they will bundle you out and say you're making call for bandits. They can even call you a terrorist. So Nigeria is not that country that you can ever. In fact, one of my friends who's here say, look, when a policeman stop, you stop. Don't argue. Because some of them are not happy. Because they pay them is nothing. And they see you in a very cozy car and you are speaking grammar. And this man that you're speaking grammar is hungry. He can just push his trigger, and that's it. And when you go, you go. So an angry man is not somebody you speak grammar for. So I think you got my advice. Don't say because they and start, no. Do it with wisdom. Do it in such a way that you discreet, so that you can go home and relay the video to the audience. Thank you. That's the only thing I would advise on that. Thank you.
It's all right. Thank you very much. I was just another one again. Please,
Yeah.
the so-called president, the leader of the country. Can you, because I've been asking, do you know
No,
where he
now you
came
don't call
from?
our president so called now. You don't come more. You won't make me
No,
call him.
there is no president. No, I keep saying it. The country has no president. You have no leaders. That country is on autopilot. The country is on autopilot. I shouldn't be scared to express my mind or to speak or to say what I believe in, what I've noticed. Can you elaborate? Do you know where he came from? Do you know anything about him, his background, or anything? Do you elaborate on that?
Well, my brother, I can't, because as it is in you is
Now
what
you
we are
don't want
talking
set up
about.
when you talk, Abi.
So I will borrow your language. I will borrow your language now. The language is that nobody can authentically say this is your president, because if you look at that, a joke that goes when I think when he celebrated his 74 years birthday, and somebody came up with your first daughter is 62 years, your junior sister is 82 years, and the president is 74 years. That is a joke, but it has a meaning, So when you talk about qualification, in fact, the recent thing that I saw was when I look at the 50, almost 50 people that started Nadeco, he still wasn't there. Nadeco that he used to say he's a
What?
founding member. Yes, his name is not among the founding members of Nadeco. Yeah,
So
he
which means
wasn't
these are
there.
all packaging.
That is it. So when I saw it, I looked at it. But this man said he's a founding member. He wasn't there. I'm telling you, among the number that I saw, that I took my time to read, he wasn't there. So how do you talk about the man? The man that no classmates, Nothing. So it's well.
So
It's
you could
well.
see now. You could see now. How did the Nigerians allow this kind of tragedy to take place? How did they allow it? Because I
It's
believe that before you can ascertain the highest level of that seat of the land, there should be vetting. There should be thorough check done on each individual, as in your background, where you came from, what you've done in your life, the businesses, what you've done. All these things should be carried out. So,
uh,
therefore,
okay.
how did they allow this kind of a thing to happen? How did they allow
Okay.
it?
Let me tell you three things. Three very important things I will tell you. Three important. One, Nigerians never allowed it. That's one thing.
If they never allow
Two.
it, why is it still there?
No, the issue that Nigeria, I'm coming to the second one on why Nigeria allowed our docile nature.
Okay.
We are docile. That's it. Because everybody wants to be, now you go come fight the war. Not only you, go and sit down. This idea about, don't go. I said some of us are sticking at our necks to talk. It's not been easy. Because even from your family member, they will be telling you, why are you the only Nigeria? Why are you a Nigerian? That kind of thing. So there's always this docility in Nigeria. That's one. Two, have you heard where election result was released when people were sleeping?
I've never. No,
3 a.m.
it doesn't happen.
That's why I said
Where?
that's the second one, INEC. So now, have you not heard that everything about this man was stable in the law court? Everything, inclusive for features of this and that and that. The same judges say, no, it's been long time. But I told somebody, if you kill somebody 20 years and they now discover that you're the one that killed, will the judge or will the law not say you are? Will they say it's time
Let me
back?
add something. Let me add to what you just said. Now you see where I am
Yeah.
now. Let's assume you committed a crime when you were even 20 years, 25 years, and you are now 80 years. You are not.
Yeah.
You will go, and they now finally have the evidence to deal with you,
You
and
go
you are
in
not
for
even
it.
80 years. You will go in for it.
That is it. That's the same country. That's where you have same country, not this one. Because they see Wagumagu and they will judge it. That is the issue. So these are the issues I want to tell you. Not that Nigerians allow them, it's that the system, the institution that we are operating has a way of packaging some people. We have a system where you have divides, the poor and the rich. And once you're rich, once you can use money to do anything, you're on your own. And that is why, even up to today, we are talking about ADC issue. What is causing ADC issue? It's something. Somebody want to take the whole sensibility of all Nigerians as if we are dummies. And of course, we are dummies. Because you will be shocked that 2027, some of the dummies, which we are, we still be routing for this person who you don't, as you said, we can't even identify the reality of who he is. This is how we are. But I think we have not suffered enough. Maybe when we suffered enough, we would not get it right. My only pain is that if it's only suffering that we are suffering, food or what, I wouldn't have bothered. But the killing of innocent Nigerians is where my pain is. Because these people deserve to live. They deserve to enjoy life. They die because of the negligence of the country, of the state that ought to protect them. And that, to me, is the worst tragedy of this government. Thank you.
And again, the other question again, I understand that the president himself has set money aside for his own self. Should the case there is any, maybe he lose the election or there is anything, he wants to use that money to fight Nigerians for him to be able to continue to put himself in power, continue to stay in power. That money, if that money appears in the budget as well, about some billions of naira or something.
There's just an allegation. But what we
But
know that
if it is true,
no,
is that not
if
an
you talk,
impeachment offense?
who is going to impeach him? The people that remove our national anthem to sing on his mandate. Is that the people that are going to impeach him?
Even on
The
that
National
mandate,
Assembly. And, National Assembly is not supposed to sing a president mandate or manifesto. But the National Assembly stood up and was singing on your mandate. Are they the people who will impeach him? This is the issue. The society, the institution is that the worst. The people you present as leaders are not representing you. So this is the issue. That's why people are jumping from one place to another like monkey. They jump from one tree to another. Nobody talks to them. If the institution is okay, before you jump, you leave the seat. How will you, as a national assembly that people represent, that you're representing people, instead of you to sing our national anthem, which is which be our dignity, you're singing is somebody else's manifesto song on your mandate, and you think that society is normal? It's not normal.
To me, I feel that that song alone is more like initiation. It's more like I don't, because those are the things I don't want to hear. I don't want to. For me, I don't want to hear that because people that it's more like I don't know something with has to do. I don't feel these people are normal or something because even
You just
the
said it.
because even the guy himself and everything, you see everybody that goes with. That's why I don't know why people will just open their eyes as well. You see what is bad. You keep supporting that bad. You keep going
All
with
right.
that same bad. It's all right.
MC, let me stop you there because I know that I do believe that people have the opinion to want to support whatever they want to support. Maybe your good may be their bad, and their bad may be your own good. Listen, I feel like I don't lose the call. I had somebody on the line and I was already calling in. So let's not stop people from.
No, I'm not stopping. No, I'm not saying people should not support who they want to support. What I'm saying is that we both see the evil that goes on. We've seen the evil. Nobody wants to, at least, if people see evil and they keep
MC, can
supporting
you
this
help me hold
evil,
your thoughts? Let me
we can
quickly stop
speak
you.
now.
All right. Thank you. Hello, good evening. You're welcome, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
There's something that happened here in Japan after the man that committed a crime. Eventually, the man died. So the evidence was found. But they have to go and judge the dead man. After judging the dead man with the enormous evidence, so the burial of the cemetery, the victim burial, the version of the cemetery, and the place of the cemetery was denied. And it was removed. It was removed. That is happening here in Japan.
So they know if he decorates the person because they find them guilty, even though saying don't die.
And they cannot pay the kind of what we put the children or the generation cannot go as this.
They know if you go visit the dead body. So that means even if he know if he pay for a crime while he there alive, on death he go pay for a crime. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I want to
all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So if some people don't pay for their crime while they die, like when they die, when they pay for it.
Thank you.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, precious.
Sir.
And good evening to your guest.
Good evening. Please, we can hear you.
Yeah, my name
Thank you.
Good
evening.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask your guest. I'm aware that ADC has an agreement with Bala. I mean, the guy who took them to court and doing all these things. Why is it that the political parties themselves are not sincere? Because I can tell you today.
Okay.
I can tell you today, if you do that to me, I am going to react. And I can tell you today, your guess, if that happens to him, he's going to react because we are all human. So why is the political party not sincere to Nigerians? Because we might be condemning this man as evil or whatever. But in reality, none of us can bear that. So I wanted to throw light on that because Nigerians are going, oh, this man is evil, this, that, but we forgot that he was offered something, and the later they didn't do that. Because I know the time that we go blind and continue to condemn people for their rights. Because I believe it is his right to have an agreement, and that agreement should be kept. Thank you.
All right. So he's talking about integrity of Nigerians. Waiting we could call why waiting cause that lack of integrity on Nigerians. We make person like Bala will sell the political party against waiting in the wants support or that he once supported. Can you hear me, sir? Dr. Maduka, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, sir? Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think we lost your audio. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Sorry, my mic went off. So I can hear you. Can you recap what you said for me?
Yes, even when they talk about integrity of Nigerians, that we're all focusing on what Bala did, but how about the integrity of the fact that he had once he joined the opposition in this coalition movement. He supported this. What be that thing will make him lose support? No matter what they give him. I mean, he's speaking on integrity, the dearth of integrity in our country generally. So he should speak.
Okay, let me take you to foundation of 1999. The foundation in 1999 was that many honest Nigerians didn't partake in that election. And that is why was because of the annulments at every point in time. So because of that, 1999, a lot of people did it. So the people that ventured into 1999 were risk takers, and most of them were 419ers. People that are not integrity wise. When you talk about integrity, now to chase these people out is not easy because they build. It's not like a tree. When they build their roots, it's going to be very difficult to chase them out. And democracy is a gradual issue. Now we're gradually trying to upturn it, but those people are still holding it. Otherwise, there are people in this politics that are not supposed to be. One, and that was why I'm blaming Abubakar, General.
Hello, sir.
Abubakar that brought out this.
Which of the Abubakars are you talking about?
For those that are supposed to.
You said you were blaming Abubakar, and I was asking which of the Abubakars.
No, the Abubakar that gave us
Abdul Salami,
OBJ, the last president. Abdul Salami, yes. So that is it. So there was no repercussion, no consequences. It's just an open. You don't put such a thing without giving conditions for those who want to enter. So this is the origin of what we are seeing now when you talk about integrity wise. You can't sow you can't sow deceit and try to reap integrity. And that's why you're having all these people who are now coming and becoming our leaders. Even people that are not supposed to be. Otherwise, people like the one we are talking about are not supposed to lead us. There's a lot of them that are not supposed to lead us. Some of them don't even have integrity. Some of them can't even, there's nothing. You can look at and say, this man is good. So nothing. So that is the origin of why Nigerian politicians are not integrity-wise. But I'm believing that as time goes on, they're supposed to be wintering. They're supposed to be evolving. But it's very hard when you have people that we're having now. It's right in the head. It's going to be very hard. If we, in fact, Nigeria now, if you are not corrupt, something is wrong with you. If you are not corrupt, you are not going to get national honor. Look at the people they are going to give national honor this year. Check the list. The people that are supposed to get national honor are these treated as people that are suffering. You see, the more you lose, the more higher is your award. So how do you get integrity in such a society? A society that doesn't reward hard work. They reward thieves. So how do you get integrity? So this is the problem. Until there's a consequence for every action, we will not get it right. I always make instance that what happened in Singapore can happen in Nigeria, where they fought corruption, they fought thieves from the top. And luckily, the person who came as the head was incorruptible. And so he started with his deputy. His deputy traveled and came back, and he overspent money. And he asked him, how did you get this money to overspend? And you know, people were thinking, oh, he will spare him because he's a deputy. The guy went to jail. So you start from the top. We are talking about terrorists. People have accused a lot of leaders who are there. How many of them have been taken to question? Nobody. People have talked about Gumi. How many times has he been questioned? So this is where when you have a bunch of, I want to mind my language. When you have a bunch of deceit, a bunch of people who are not integrity-wise, what you are having now are dishonesty. People that look at integrity as an aberration. So when you talk about truth, talk about honesty, they look at you as if you're not a Nigerian. You will look as if this man, where is he from? And I'm telling you, it will start one day. And that day is when we get a leader who will stand by the truth and probably make laws that will stand by the truth. And how are we going to make that law? By ensuring that our election process is very, very well coordinated. And it should be transparent, it should be accountable, and every Nigerian should have the right to vote whoever he wants to vote without being given 1 naira or 5 cups of rice. That is when we will talk about integrity. For now, if you are integrity wise, you'll be abnormal in this country. And some of us, that's why we are abnormal. Yes. If you are talking about integrity,
want to see us now.
I'm telling you, that's it. It's the truth.
Thank you.
I just gave you an instance. How many people are in national? Just this year, we will talk about impressions. When they give the list of national honor awardees, we will talk about it. We pick each of them one after the other, and you will now ask your question: who among this one? Who among this one can you vouch and say his wealth came on a right way or a right source? If not, the way he thief, the more you thief, the more you get honor. Look at the man we are talking about who is making noise, want to break a TV and kill somebody. What work has he been doing? What is his work? Has he been practicing? What is it? And you can talk to you, he has a Cadillac and he's proud of it. In the same country, they will pick you and ask you how much are you paying as tax? But look at this, the private is making good. Let me stop here, please. You know, it's annoying.
Thank you so much. We can only talk during we go travel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for honoring this invitation. It's always a pleasure to have you and having discussions about our country with you. Thank you big time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Written a governor for us. Thank you, sir.
We are doing the best for Nigeria. We are trying to set the pace. so that they will know the integrity works. Tell the guy that we talk about the last question, he should come to Abia State and see where integrity is working.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good night
Thank
and
you.
God bless you.
Good night.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package this evening. But I will not leave you this evening without this video that has made the round about soldiers who basically sing praise and worship for inside deserts where they fight terrorists.
Closer, closer to thee. Lord, my soul every day. Father, draw me closer. Draw me closer, closer to thee. My song every day. Father, draw me nearer. Draw me nearer, nearer to thee. Means he will never fail.
All right, so and not be our wish, may God draw them closer. They will be close, but when they never be close to their death. And it was very, very emotional seeing this video. And to think that most of them, some of these soldiers didn't actually make them out of that desert alive. That's one of the things we don't get people emotional and get people talking over the huge sacrifice we as soldiers they make to protect our lives. And we wish them well. We just want to appreciate all of them. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for joining us into this show. It's always a pleasure to have you discuss issues about our country. Thank you so much. We will continue to talk for the growth and development of our nation. My name is Precious Inyi. Let's do this again tomorrow evening. God bless you.